Back when I first reviewed the MLP movie, there was quite a lot that I liked about it. But one element I felt was just a bit lacking was the story. A few weeks later, I got to see the season 7 finale Shadow Play, and I can remember thinking, why couldn't we have had this story for the movie instead? So I began wondering, could Shadow Play work as a movie? If you were to take this 45-minute story and stretch it out to around 100 minutes or so, would it have been as effective? Well, for one, we'd have an opportunity for a lot more backstory on Star Swirl and each of the pillars, not to mention Stygian and his descent into becoming the Pony of Shadows. I really enjoyed the season 7 finale, but I do admit those elements were certainly rushed in places. You could even spend time establishing just how much of a threat to Equestria the Pony of Shadows could be, since, really, that was kept kind of vague. However, even with the added time, there would be the issue of how to bring a general audience up to speed without the trappings of a giant info dump. The season 7 finale pulled this off fairly well in the first minute, explaining Star Swirl, the pillars, and even a bit about Stygian. But this only works for regular fans of the show. For a theatrical release where you need to appeal to a far wider audience, trying to use a story like Shadow Play needs to establish a lot more backstory than that. You'd need to explain both the elements of harmony and the Tree of Harmony. You'd need to establish what the Cutie Map is and how it works. You'd need to go into Starlight Glimmer's backstory because it's kind of critical as to why Twilight decides to reach out to Stygian during the climax. These elements are explained a bit here and there in passing during the second half of the finale, but you can tell the writers are expecting the majority of the audience to have already seen previous episodes in the series. Now, admittedly, the MLP movie did bring out a lot of new characters, new locations, and kept a rather quick pace on moving to each new set piece. And for newcomers to the series, I wouldn't be surprised to hear that there are simply way too many characters to keep track of. But at the very least, I can understand why the movie went with the safer route of a simpler story without too much need for all that backstory. If the MLP staff had decided to make Shadow Play into a made-for-TV movie, then yes, I can see that working. But for a wide theatrical release? That'd be asking a bit too much for a general audience. To be honest, if we wanted a set of season finale episodes that would work far better for the movie theaters, I'd say A Canterlot Wedding is the prime candidate. There's far less explanation needed for the setup, fewer characters to establish, you'd only need to focus on Canterlot itself for locations, and if you think about it, there's already some prime choices for character songs. Plus, it still would have been early enough in the series so fans wouldn't be complaining about, why didn't Discord come and help? What do you think, though? Given how much backstory and build-up that was necessary for Shadow Play, can you think of a scenario where a theatrical film might have been appealing to a general audience? Or perhaps there's some other season finale story that you feel would have worked even better for the MLP movie? Let me know. Because as always, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.